Oh, and next up, actually, this I did read through this. There are Kanaya lines here.
Okay.
I was wrong. It's not just Rose, which means we get to essentially reprise our as of yet unreleased podfic roles. If Anna wants to do Rose,
Oh, I would be happy to do Rose.
nice.
Ooh. Alrighty. We are on chapter 2 of Love Letters in Digital Ink by Tactful Nostalgic. Janai, can you put the link in the reader or the
I certainly
chat
can.
for Anna? Thanks.
Oh, I've already got it up.
Oh, you've got it up. Okay, cool. Nice.
Okay, cool. So we are. I think we've done the tags before, but I think the relevant ones are like it's a no spurb scrub AU, Rose Lalonde POV. It's in blog format. It's a teen romance. Rose is a mess and I love her. The dreaded first person POV. No, wait, don't leave. Trust me, I got this. It's Rosemary. There's some minor Dave Cat. Shoes on the other foot now, motherfuckers, which is in relationship tags, which is not only a power move, but is correct. Thank you. Last chapter, Kanaya, Porum, and the Dolorosa moved in next door, and Rose doxed all of them on her blog because she didn't know what she was doing.
Oh my god.
It was 2016. All right. Take it away, Anna.
Date, June 7th, 2016. Weather, hot. Mood, amiable. News. What might fascinate any amateur geologists following me to learn is that among its many names, natural selenite goes by the moniker Desert Rose. If you do not know what that is, do not fret. A desert rose is the name by which geologists, and a good number of non-geologists, refer to a natural mineral which resembles flower. The petals are crystals flattened on the C crystallographic axis, fanning open in radiating flattened crystal clusters. Most blooms span from pea size to 10 centimeters in diameter, and their appearance is that of an exquisitely carved sculpture. Few would recognize, and fewer believe, that they are in fact natural creations, but it is true. No such rose greeted me in the mail today. Instead, I received my wands, which are satisfactory in every way possible. I used them to charge the space, and they created quite the pleasant aura. I believe that I will continue to use them for the rest of the week. They should perk up the room nicely. After all, I am saving up my candles for the grand ritual, so my bedroom has been woefully lacking in, how can I say this, character? In scanning Amazon for potentially useful materials, I came across a seller who appeared to have possession of a large selenite rose. I was immediately intrigued. For one thing, it was a gorgeous design, and quite possibly one of the most lovely non-man-made sculptures I've ever seen. And for another, the price was ludicrously low. I was almost angry that the owner should undersell their precious good. My only conclusion was that they were either A, unaware of their possession's properties and value, or B, they did not, in fact, possess the object they claimed to, and were undercharging to try and weasel money out of cheapskates. Neither is a very flattering portrait, but I got in contact with them nonetheless. I managed to wheedle the price down to only $30, and for the size of the rose in question, is quite reasonable. In other news, blog frequenter @terminally_capricious has been blocked permanently, barring future developments. I will not be answering questions on this matter. Do not attempt to inform me of their whereabouts and doings, because it will likely pain me more to know than to speculate. On that subject, under no circumstances should you take advice from their blog. They are a fraud and have little experience with true witchcraft. Do not heed their advice, specifically when it comes to blood magic and substitutions. Should you have a question concerning spiritual matters, please address it to me, and my answer will be far more educational and safe than theirs. Questions answered. In response to Cuttlefish Color's question about animal reanimation, I would invite you to research that on your own. I do not profess to know much about necromancy, nor, in all honesty, do I believe in the field as legitimate. While we may reach behind the veil of death to converse with lost loved ones, we cannot pull them from without the veil, and that is how it should be. Attempts may have inadvisable results, although I will not go so far as to discourage you from exploring your spirituality. For we all have that right, and I advocate its exercise. We must balance our curiosity with our safety. Message me privately for further advice. In response to @Caligula's Aquarium's question about love potions, I know the answer to this. I will not give it to you, because after a mild perusal of your blog, you do not seem to me the kind of person likely to use this information responsibly. Your threats to dox me, while assuredly entertaining, have not put me in a particularly informatory mood. I wholeheartedly invite you to go on and wage war upon me and my followers if it suits you. I may even reblog your call-out if it's well written. In personal news, plans to introduce myself to the next-door neighbors were wrecked when they preempted my visit with one of their own. All three of them emerged on the doorstep at 3 o'clock this afternoon, equipped with aesthetically pleasing smiles and a truly scrumptious tin of brownies. I mean that the brownies were scrumptious, not the tin. The elder girl introduced herself as Porim, and I will admit that I said little to her. It is very difficult to talk to a girl wearing a backless shirt when she has tattoos on her back, and in fact I was tempted to take a picture of said tattoos, were that not a gross invasion of privacy. I believe that the general picture was a dragon in a bed of roses, although I did not get as good a look as I would have preferred. Perhaps I will confer with Roxy about it later. Porim is a sharp-witted girl with passionate opinions about social justice, and she and Roxy seem to enjoy each other's company immensely. I suspect Roxy will be stolen away many a summer afternoon to sleepovers next door. Whether or not any sleeping will take place during said sleepovers is an intriguing subject, and I will do my best to report it with as much discretion and accuracy as can be maintained simultaneously. But the object of much of my attention for the duration of the visit was Kanaya. She's charming, surely, but shy in curious ways. For example, she is quite willing to engage Roxy on the topic of local pottery outlets, but retreats immediately into her shell when my mother tried to compliment her earrings. Likewise, she was unresponsive to my attempts at conversation, and in fact turned a bright, pleasant shade of pink when I tried to breach the silence with casual, friendly compliment. Your skirt is a very fetching shade of red, I said. But the stitching around the side is irregular, suggesting that a company sewing machine was not responsible. Did you do it yourself? Her eyes grew very wide, and she pressed her lips together. She drew into the corner of the sofa where she sat, as if frightened by my presence. I did my best to back off and appear as unthreatening as possible. To be honest, I do not understand what could possibly be frightening about me. But Roxy has swore that I, give off gothy vibes, so perhaps that is it? I attempted to be as ungothy as possible. The stitching is very good, I added. Do you make many of your own clothes?
Yes.
She said, and I was pleasantly surprised to find that her voice was a sonorous, smooth sound. It was the kind of voice that would be suited to public service announcements and oration, if only she were less cautious in employing it. I knit, I informed her. I'm only an amateur, but I find it to be quite therapeutic, and there's a certain joy in wearing clothes you made with your own hands.
Oh.
Maybe we could combine our skill sets sometimes. This was a little daring of me, I admit, but in times such as these, and with such a meek conversationalist, we must all utilize a little courage to engineer successful friendships.
I suppose.
She fidgeted with her hands. Her nails were filed short and painted jade green.
If you like.
I would like very much, I encouraged her. It would be lovely to have a next-door neighbor that one can be friends with, don't you think?
It would.
She agreed.
My last neighborhood had very few people my age.
This one is populated densely by children. You needn't fret for sociality. I can introduce you to my friends if you want.
That would be nice.
Her cheeks darkened even further.
You're kind.
Only utilitarian, I assured her. It is advantageous to have a friend nearby at all times. Did you know I can see your bedroom from my window? This was, in retrospect, a poor choice, conversationally speaking.
God,
I have done my
Rose.
best to spend minimal time regretting it. However, seeing as Roxy spit up her soda from across the room upon hearing it, I doubt I will be allowed to forget it anytime soon.
No?
Kanaya gave me a look that communicated with crystal clarity how odd she found my statement.
Can you see it very clearly?
No, only a few feet, not much at all. I did not look at her. Just the curtains most of the time,
Well,
she said slowly.
by that logic, I should be able to see yours.
That's right. Can you?
Haven't tried.
She said, then with a shred, nay, an ounce, of playfulness.
Might do. Later on.
It would only be fair, I agreed.
My thinking exactly.
I found her smile exquisitely well suited to her face. I am in no way averse to seeing it again and repeat it as often as possible. The Merriams, another name which will bear a hasty Google search once I'm finished with the post, left exactly 43 minutes after arriving, and Kanaya waved to me shyly before leaving. It tickled me. Her wave is terribly cute. Before my next post, I intend to see her again. I will report on the results of said meeting for any interested, as always, in the personal news section. As always, the inquiry box is open. Feel free to solicit advice on any and all supernatural feats that you have witnessed or seek to witness. Have a good evening, Raiders. Tentacle
my-
Therapist.
Oh my god, I love them so much.
Lord, how
Gay-ass
unabashedly
woman.
gay.
it's not tagged, but I like the fact that there's Porum Roxy relationship as well.
Yeah, they have a complex relationship arc as
Yeah.
well that goes on in the backgrounds.
Oh, okay.
Don't be
cool.
mean, she's nervous. No, she sticks her foot in her mouth over and over and over again.